Hi folks, Coach Jeff here. I wanted to give you an overview of some new products that 6-0 has just come out with. I did a review last year and I did it with the Ruby versus the Double Black Diamond, which were both 16mm paddles. They're both still outstanding paddles, but we want to keep coming out with new paddles. So 6-0 has come out with an additional Ruby and 4 additional Double Black Diamond paddles. Who should use them? What are they used for? What are the swing weights? Who would I recommend them for? We're going to cover all of that today. All right, we're going to start out with the 14mm Ruby. This is actually that paddle. 14mm Ruby, I'm using that right now. We still have the 16mm Ruby, so what are the differences? They're almost identical in swing weight. They're almost identical in twist weight. Some people like a little thinner paddle. The 14 does hit a little harder, gives you a little more pop. The 16 probably has that much more control. So it just depends on which way you lean. They both have a nice plush feel when you're dinking. They both have a lot of power when you're hitting full shots. But I would really tell you, if you really have great control and you want to enhance your power, go with the 14. If you really have a lot of power but want to enhance your control, go with the 16. There are very slight differences. If I was in a tournament playing with my 14 and it broke and I only had a 16 in there, I wouldn't change my game plan or anything. There are very slight differences, but a little more power on the 14, a little more control on the 16. All right, so on the Ruby, one of the subtle differences are swing weight and twist weight. So the swing weight on the 16mm is 115, it's 112 on the 14mm. As you might imagine, it's a little bit lighter. Twist weight also varies. You get a little better twist weight on the 16 because it's a little heavier, a little more stable. And the twist weight on the 16mm is 6.8, where the twist weight on the 14mm is 6.5. Now I weight both my paddles at 4 and 8, so I get a little bit of a bump on the twist weight. I would suggest you do that too on all of your paddles, regardless of the twist weight. So with the Rubies, the color choices are very simple. It's just a ruby colored with white around the outside. But in the Double Black Diamonds, if you're a fashionista and you want something different, the Double Black Diamonds, they come in black with white around them, black with cherry blossom, black with amethyst. There's an Australian version, and there's a Hawaiian version. So there's a lot of different versions of that Double Black Diamond. So if you want something that's different, that looks a little different from everybody else on the court, you might want to choose one of those. So on the Double Black Diamond, we have the same thing as we had on Ruby. We used to have just the 16mm version. Now we have a 14 also. Much like the Ruby, you're going to find that the 14 has just a tad more pop than the 16. The 16 has a little bit better control. The swing weights are 114 and 113. So if you can tell that, you're a better player than I am. I mean, they feel identical in my hand. There's just very little difference as far as weight is concerned. The twist weight is just slightly better on the 16. I believe it's 6.8. On the 14, I believe it's 6.5, just like in the Ruby. So just a little less twist weight on the 14, but you just get a little bit more pop, just like you do. So the difference, let's go back to the difference between the Ruby and the Double Black Diamond. Both outstanding paddles. You're going to get a little better power out of the Ruby on full shots. You're going to get a little bit better pop on the Double Black Diamond at the net, at the kitchen line, when you're trying to hit, just smacking, knocking down shots, hitting punch shots. You're going to be a little more favored with the Double Black Diamond. So we're going to cover the Double Black Diamond Infinity. So this is an edgeless paddle. As all edgeless paddles are, they don't have quite as good a twist weight in most cases as the paddles with the edge guards on them. So they're a little less stable. Twist weight's a little off. That's the thing in this case. It's a 6.0 to 6.4 twist weight. But here's the thing, it's light. If you like a light swing weight, this thing comes in at 108. So if you want maneuverability around the kitchen, it's a great paddle for that. It's a 16mm paddle. The one thing I found about this paddle is I played with it for about a month and a half. My dinks were great, my resets were outstanding. Everything about it I really liked, except one thing, I just didn't feel like I had any power with it. So if you're a strong person, you already have great power, and you want to use this paddle and you want to use it for control and maneuverability, it might be a great paddle for you. I just didn't feel like on my overhead slams and when I really tried to put it away, I had enough power to do that. But it's still a great paddle. Okay, so we come to the double black diamond light version. Some people have an affinity, that 8.0 ounces for some reason doesn't resonate with them. They want a paddle under 8 ounces. This is a good paddle for that. It's 7.8 ounces is the static weight. The twist weight is almost identical. It comes into 6.75 as opposed to 6.8. So again, you're going to tell very little difference on that. The swing weight is 112 as opposed to either 113 or 114. Again, not much difference. It feels a little bit lighter in the hand. It's still got outstanding pop. So if you really like a lighter paddle, some of my female students really like lighter paddles. So I recommend the double black diamond light version to them. They seem to really like that paddle. So everything identical, it just hits a little bit lighter. It just feels a little bit lighter in your hand if you like that sensation. And the other thing is you can weight that up at 8 and 4 and it's just getting right at that 8 ounce weight. So if you want something that you can weight up and keep right around 8 ounces, this might be a good choice for you. All right, now we come to the double black diamond elongated version. My tennis players like this one. It feels more like a tennis racket. When you pick it up and you put it against the standard double black diamonds and rubies, it's about a ½ inch taller, but it feels more like 3/4 of an inch to an inch taller because the entire body of the paddle is about almost a full inch higher than the counterpart of the regular one. So it really is further away, and what that tells me is, if you know anything about physics, it gives you a better snap. So if you're hitting down on it, the sweet spot is almost an inch further away from your wrist. So that should give you a little better power, a little better snap on it, which is why a lot of the tennis players like it. Swing weight on this is 118, I believe. The twist weight is 5.85 because it's a little narrower paddle. It's taller and it's narrower. So the twist weight is going to be a little lower. I would definitely recommend you putting tape at 8 and 4 on this one. But my tennis players really seem to acclimate to this paddle. As soon as they pick it up, it feels better in their hand. So if you're a tennis player out there, this might be the paddle for you. All right, I'm going to give you a bonus paddle, and that's also a new one we've come out with. We always had a black diamond power paddle. Now we have the black diamond Infinity. So it's an edgeless paddle, just like the double black diamond Infinity. I had this paddle and I had to go down to Myrtle Beach for a week. I just grabbed it. I was only going to play rec play anyhow, so I decided I'm just going to take this down. I didn't weight it. I just took it down with me. I decided I would play with it, see how it hits. And this thing hits like a tank. I mean, it really hits hard. The static weight on it is 8.2, so it's right about where the ruby and the double black diamond are. The twist weight on it is just between 6 and 6.4, so it's very similar to the double black diamond Infinity. But the swing weight is 108, so it's a very light swing weight. And I put the grams on the outside, 3 grams on both 8 and 4 positions when I got home. And I really like this paddle. When I was down in Myrtle Beach, I was just playing with it stock, hit really hard. And I was really impressed with, I know the twist weight is a little bit lower, but it seemed like because of the firmness of the material on the face of the paddle, it really sprang the ball back over. So I didn't have to get as much paddle on it as I would have with a regular paddle, and it still went back over the net on resets and on dinks. So I really like this paddle. It's the one I'm playing with right now. I switch off between that one and the Ruby 14. But this Black Diamond Infinity paddle is the real deal. So if you're looking for a powerful paddle, weighted up as far as the static weight's not going to change that much, but it will help you for the twist weight. So weighted at 8 and 4, and if you have good control and you're looking for a little bit better power, that might be your best choice. Okay, so what's coming down the pike? I'm hearing all kinds of rumors. I know they're working on one to really be a competitor of the harder hitting ones from Yola and from Paddle Tech. I think that's on the horizon. I think we'll be seeing that pretty soon. So there's a lot of great things coming down. That's what I like about 6.0. They're innovative, but they don't rush to the market without getting it right in the first place. Some of these paddle companies, as soon as they get something, it's forget quality control. They're sending it over, having them made, they're sending them out, and then people are complaining. You don't see that with 6.0. They really take a good long look at it before they send it out. They want to make sure it's right. And I think you'll see some really nice things in the future, but we've got some great paddles out right now. These paddles, they're all, I think our most expensive paddle with my discount is under $200. And when you look at some of the competitors, $280, $300, you're saving $80 to $100. And these paddles are playing just as well. So make sure you look in the description below for our code. Use that code, get 10% off, and subscribe to the channel. We'd really like to have some more subscribers. I will be coming out with more videos in the future. We also have some really nice videos there for beginners and intermediate players. So I hope you'll check those out. Till next time, Coach Jeff signing off.